Amit Rajan, the MD at Prosfora Technologies, and get a better sense of how 2019 has been and how 2020 is likely to be. Amit, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. Like Pankaj as well was just summarizing, 2019 has seen a very high number of warning letters, OAIs. Did that come as a negative surprise, or would you say it was much along expected lines?
Good morning. See, it was much expected on expected line actually, and at the end of 2019 we are sitting, and I can tell you that 2020 is going to disappoint further. Not because we are going to do more mistakes and number of ANDAs or filings are going to go low, but the point is, see, it's like what Pankaj was explaining. It was like going to, as a mass balance. You get a warning letter and you end up not doing any business for 12 to 18 months. Now, if you look from 2020 perspective, there are at least two big pharma who are going to come out of the warning letter because of the timelines they've already served under the warning letter, and the inspection is due or probably has already happened. But at the same time, at least 6 more are serving warning letter, 2 more are going to get warning letters, and that's why the number of supplies and a number of NDAs is going to stack for the next another 12 months. So. The majority of this has come from sterile manufacturing. We have been discussing, Minali, is that we have to gear up our sterile manufacturing. It is now leading to a situation where probably it is proven now with Sun Pharma's recent inspection that we still have a long way to go into injectable manufacturing.
But do you sense that the scrutiny is only going to increase in 2020 as well, or do you think by now Indian companies would adapt to the rules and regulations that the USFDA actually needs?
No, we are adapting. You see some of the companies doing better in sterile, but see, we have to look from a technology perspective. Let me take a minute for the benefit of your viewer. See, if you compare India's telecom industry, India's IT industry with Indian pharma industry, there is a huge difference. It is a very regulatory intensive industry, and the bellwether regulator is USFDA. So even if you have to sell your product in Timbuktu or Zambia, the USFDA guideline operates, and US has been very harsh on aseptic manufacturing and sterile. The point is that I'm surprised in the sense that we are superpower in terms of oral technology. We have not been able to buck up on injectable manufacturing because of our culture or aseptic practices. Now, as India with its own technology knowledge as of now on science, we must have negotiated with USFDA on the aseptic guidelines that have been made, not keeping the tropical countries into account. And believe me, I'm telling you, irrespective of number of inspections or improvements that India will do, USFDA will continue to have issues with sterile manufacturing. So, and unfortunately now Sun Pharma, other companies, Lupin and all that are falling apart in injectable inspection, and this is where the problem starts. And in terms of oral dosage manufacturing, the pipeline is drying. There is no patent, new product which is coming in the patent pipeline. So the play out for 2020 will be, I can very well tell you that the supplies are going to hold on, the ANDAs are going to be stuck because of the inspections, and the movement, the play out will happen in the biotech space. Fortunately for biotech, the Indian government has come out with some relaxed guideline, and you can see a lot of non-major bio players coming into India market with RPG, Reliance Life Sciences, now Stelis of Strides coming up. So this is a pure problem of our aseptic practices as well as the ability to learn fast.
Okay, so are you expecting more increased, rather going forward, do you think that the India markets will make up for the growth that's been lost overseas in the US, or is it too small vis-a-vis the size of the US? Because you spoke about how there is going to be increased scrutiny from the FDA.
Yes, see, two things. A, there has to be increased scrutiny because the number of products that we are now focusing on are unfortunately injectable, and 99% of the biotech products are injectable. So there is no other way than to improve our aseptic practices. FDA is not going to leave you only because there is a shortage of medicine or there are no players, at least on injectable. So my take is that the scrutiny is going to increase, and injectable guys have to face a heat from FDA.
The overall trends of approval and filing have also reduced. Do you expect Indian companies to see more filings in the calendar year 20, perhaps also be led by higher R&D spend?
See, last time when we were there together, I told you that the R&D, the ANDA development or a filing in US is technically not an R&D. R&D expenditure is actually what is going on into biotech products, which Biocon or Stelis is doing. So yes, number of ANDs are going to increase because sometimes markets, I think that it gets into dizzy when you have number of more ANDs filed, but that doesn't make sense for any vanilla generic products. It is not adding any value after commercialization. So specialty chemicals where Lupin, Sun Pharma is focusing, Aurobindo is focusing, these are where the ANDA filing will increase. In the generic ANDA filings, I don't think there will be more filings at all. I presume that the pricing at US on the generic drug has plateaued, as well as the number of filings that will happen in India in totality has also saturated. Maybe new players will file ANDA for the just sake of filing numbers, but I think this is where now we have used the maxima.
One point really on pricing. What is it that you're expecting in terms of the US pricing environment? Because that also has been a big overhang for Indian pharma as such.
If you look at vanilla generics, I mean, vanilla generics is something like amlodipine or a paracetamol kind of molecule, they are now almost available free in US, provided you latch on with your own other specialty products. So in terms of specialty products, yes, the pricing pressure will not be there, and that's why it's a huge market still waiting for companies who want to do specialty marketing like Sun or Aurobindo or Lupin. For tier 2 big pharma in India, who are still focused on generic, they will see a pricing pressure. However, injectable, yes, there's a lot of market, lot of money to be earned there, but again we are faltering here for supplies. And it's a double-edged sword actually. Injectable, what is happening is we are grabbing good market by filing ANDAs. Post inspection, we are doing recalls. Recall is almost 100 or 200 times costlier than actual product. So this is I'm surprised actually how the numbers will increase for Indian pharma in US now, unless until we really do some good quality injectable supplies.
All right, Amit, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us today and taking us through some of those factors at play.
Thank you for having me here.